everyone. A very good morning to you all. Welcome to the first lecture of Financial Management paper of ACCA. I hope all of you are doing well. We're going to be starting the lectures with an orientation session, which will help you understand the subject, how the paper is, as if, considering you might be new and not be aware of the concepts of how the paper is structured. So before we get into the detailed orientation session, we're going to be beginning with an introduction round where I'll introduce myself, and I would request all of you as well to introduce you. So I'm Anushka Jain, your mentor for the financial management paper. I am a chartered accountant, qualified in 2017. So it's been about 8 years now that I have been qualified as a chartered accountant, and hold as many years of post-qualification work experience with MNCs. I started my job with Coca-Cola in Bangalore, managing the internal controls. So I qualified CA in a very young age after qualifying all the levels at the first attempt. So it was during this time, and considering I've been a very studious student throughout, I decided to take up ACCA in 2019. I gave the first paper, Advanced Financial Management, in June of 2019, and I got World Rank 2 and All India Rank 1 in the paper, AFM. So I was a CA, so I just had to appear for 4 papers at the strategy professional level. All the rest papers were exempt. So I chose AFM as the first one because, I have got an inclination, for this paper, really like the concepts of FM. Then next I gave 2 papers, SBL plus SBR, and qualified them as well in the first go. And finally, in December of 2019, I gave APM, Advanced Performance Management. And with that, I completed my journey as an ACCA and I qualified in Jan 2020. So post my qualification as an ACCA, I got associated with VG Learning Destination, and I have been mentoring students, teaching students for more than 5 years now. And it's indeed a pleasure to be, teaching students, and I really, really enjoy this because books are something which are very close to my heart, and finance is something which I've done throughout my corporate work. So post Coca-Cola, I joined Pernod Ricard India. It's a liquor company. You might have heard brands like Imperial Blue, Royal Stag, Blender's Pride. So these brands come under the umbrella of Pernod Ricard. I was managing the business finance for sales of Northeast India. Then I moved on to Flipkart. Again, I moved to Bangalore, and I worked in the fintech field about 2.5 years there, and then I got called back to my previous company, which is Pernod Ricard. I joined as the head of finance now in managing the Northeast business finance, sales finance. And about a month back, I quit my job, and now I'm focusing full time on coaching. So this is how my educational and corporate journey looks like. I really, really enjoy the subject. It's very close to my heart. Just one second, I'll be back. Yes, so it's really close to my heart, and I enjoy teaching it. So I'm sure you're going to be having a good journey within the subject. I've got a lot of good feedback, good student results with ranks as well. So I'm sure if you're dedicated enough and given your best, you are also all set for the rank and good results. On that note, I'll pass on the bandit to you. I request you to introduce yourself, your name, where you are from, what you're currently doing in terms of your education, or if you're working, let me know about that. And if you have done any other paper of ACCA. This is very important. I would want to understand if you are a newbie for the ACCA course, or if you have some experience. And if you've done any other paper from me, maybe the PM paper at the skill level, you can also mention that. So please, we can begin now. So I have a student in the batch, Anushka, as well. All right. Mansi says hi. Yes. I see a lot of familiar names. All of you, please type in your introduction. Okay, Mansi is working in JLL as senior finance analyst. Anju, I could recognize you. How was the paper, Anju, PM? Kavya, you were also there in my batch, right? The March batch. All right. How did the paper go? FM is the first exam for Mansi. Okay. What about you, Kavya and Anju? How many papers down? And how many was left? How many are left? Okay, activity-based budgeting was tricky. Yes, I got that feedback. Niyati is from Singapore. Oh, Niyati is in Flipkart, Singapore as a legal counsel. Okay. I've done LLB and BCom from India. I've done CS from Singapore. I am new to ACCA. FM is my first. All right. Who do you report into, Niyati, in Flipkart? Kavya's second paper is FM. Okay. 5 exempted for Kavya. Mehak is from Delhi, working as assistant manager at a real estate company. Have a CA background, and I'm also preparing for FR. Very good. Good. Jagrat says I'm currently doing BCom and this is my first paper. I'm from Delhi. Okay. Rupinder, currently working in DSA firm. Previously worked in CA firm for 10 years. Graduation done 10 years ago. FM is my first exam. Disha from Gurgaon, pursuing BCom honors, South Campus. So is it your first paper, Disha? Anushka is from Jaipur. Completed my graduation last year. I've taken a CA inter exam, because of which in total my 6 papers got exempted. FM is my second paper. So which one have you qualified, Anushka? Anju's third paper. Manisha Kumar and Manjeet Singh. Okay. Then Aman says from Delhi, BCom honors graduate, working at Genpact as a process associate. Rupinder is from Ludhiana. Shreya, she says, have completed BCom, currently working in Genpact. Okay, so we have 2 Genpact. Amanpreet and Shreyashi, both of you from Genpact. And Shreyashi's first exam and audit got exempted. All right. Okay. Preeti says from Delhi, Karol Bagh. I was in Delhi last week, just returned yesterday. Pursuing BCom second year. Giving first attempt for FR in December, but not successful due to time management and giving audit and assurance in March. Now I'm preparing for second paper, FM for September attempt and FR for June attempt. FM you will be giving in September, because we're taking the classes now. FM batches are done every quarter, so if you want to take classes later, that is also doable. Like if you want to do it freshly, close to the exam, that's also doable. Pretty suggestion for you if you're giving the exam in September, because batches are done every quarter for FM and PM. Dipesh is from Agra, completed my graduation, currently practicing in a CA firm. FM is my first exam. So I see a lot of you have FM as your first exam. I must say it's a really good choice. And if you like the concept of FM, nothing like it. If you don't like the FM, you will fall in love with it. That's my assurance. Because this subject itself is very, very interesting, I must say. And it lays down such strong foundation for the AFM paper. So I'm teaching both, right? FM as well as AFM. So I understand how students just, staircase into the AFM paper if they have a very strong foundation in FM. So if you're, strong here, your one paper of professional level is sorted. Okay. So with that said, we will begin. I'm assuming all of you have sent in your messages. Labna, I think you're yet to respond. And Ayush Singh. Audit and FM. Yes, a lot of students give two papers together. In fact, I also gave SBL and SBR together at the professional level. So two papers, yes, you can go, but then you have to give in a lot of time. Managing all the classes, then all the homework, and if you're working that work or if you're studying, then that course has to be handled also. Yes, audit and FM can be done, but you won't find a lot of correlation between the two. But it's a good choice, but audit has a low pass rate, so be careful about that. Um, and can we take two exams together, FM and FR? Absolutely, yes, you can. FM and FR is a good combo. All right. Understood. Okay. Ayush has given the FR exam. Okay. Have you given it in March? Just last week? Okay. Are you working or just studying ACCA currently? Okay. All right. So I'm glad to have you all in this batch. It's a mixed batch, and as usual, we get some of you who are already experienced with ACCA papers, and some of you who are just completely newbies. And it's always good to have a mix up, because what I will do in my class is I will treat all of you as newbies, as if you don't know anything about ACCA or FM. So, don't worry at all, like the other students might be knowing this, I may not know it. That won't happen. All of you will be at par by the time the syllabus is complete. Okay, so Lubna has also just given the FR exam. Great. So on that note, let us begin with the orientation slides. Classes as an audit and FM classes. I'm not sure about the audit schedule. I haven't got the the batch schedule for this attempt so far. Um, you can check with Sandeep on this. He'll help you. So my class schedule, I can tell you. So FM class schedule will be Saturday, Sunday, 5 to 9 p.m. and Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. in the morning. So 4 hours in the morning and on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And Saturday, Sunday will be in the evening slot, 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. Okay. So we are going to be doing, the completing the course by the end of April, so that you get one full month for, around, complete the revision and attempt the mock papers. So you'll get a lot of good time. So by the end of April itself, we'll be ready with the complete course completion, right? So I'll just repeat the schedule for everyone. If you are aware, good. If you're not, please listen to me carefully. The schedule is Monday, Wednesday, Friday, MWF, morning 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. and Saturday, Sunday, 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. Okay. All right. So let's begin. So FM, Financial Management, is a computer-based exam. No pen and paper, nothing. It's properly to be done on a computer. And there are two ways in which you can give the paper. One is you give the paper through a center. Like we gave our board exams, we would go to a particular exam center, we'll write our papers there. Similar to that, you can give the exam through a center. It's called center-based exam. Everything will be managed by the center. You just have to go, type in your answers, and they will only provide you the laptop, keyboard, everything. It's on them. Wi-Fi, invigilation is done at the center only. So you just have to go and write your paper. You'll have to carry your ID card, of course. The other way is called the remote-based exam. Remote-based exam is you can give the exam from the comfort of your own home. Here, you will be responsible for the laptop, for the configuration, for the Wi-Fi, for connectivity, so that your camera should be on all the time, and the invigilation is done remotely. So please do not engage in any scrupulous activity during remote exams, because if it is found out, you may be barred from taking exam, or your association with ACCA may also get cancelled completely. So there will be a very strict remote invigilation that you have to be careful about while going for a remote exam, because I have seen and heard of instances where students are found out of doing some sort of activities and then they are barred. So be very, very careful whenever you plan your remote exam. Both of them are fine. I mean, to each his own. If you are comfortable and you are very confident of the connectivity, availability of a isolated room where you can give the exam in peace, go for remote exam also, that's fine. And if you want to just go and give the exam, rest all worries with the center, you can go for a center-based exam. So center bookings, they open few days before the exam, and you have to fill in the form for that. Of course, you have to fill in the form for remote exam also, but both of these options are available. Whatever suits you, you can go for that. Okay. So financial management is a computer-based exam, irrespective of whether you take it from the center or you take it remotely. Few points to take note of. In remote exam, no rough paper is allowed, or no pen, nothing is allowed on the table. In your center-based exam, they give you ref sheets. As much as you want, they will give you that. You can do the calculations on calculator. Calculator is allowed in both. In remote exam also, in center-based exam also. Calculator will be given in both cases. Rough sheet is provided only in center-based exam. You will not be allowed to use any paper on your table in a remote exam. Okay, so be careful about that. So financial management, it is a computer-based exam which can be taken via either routes. You can go for remote as well as center-based exam. Then approach to examining. There is no choice in this exam. All questions have to be answered. Meaning to say, every question which comes in the paper, it will be mandatorily required to be answered. No choice, okay? There's no optional question that you can either appear this question or that question. Whatever question comes in the paper, it's mandatory to be answered. There is no negative marking. Very clear, no negative marking. I get these doubts somehow by the end of my syllabus also. That ma'am, will there be negative marking? Absolutely no. So if you do not know the answer to a question, you should definitely do some sort of rule of elimination, which I will tell you about later. But please appear for that question. Do not leave it unattempted. No negative marking. What is the fear? Even if it is guesswork, it turns out to be wrong, then okay. But what if it turns out right? You get those marks, no? So attempt all the questions without fail. Exam duration will be 3 hours. Okay, exam duration will be 3 hours, and pass mark is 50%. Meaning to say that out of 100 marks, the total marks will be 100. Out of that, you need to score 50 to pass the exam. Okay, there is no concept of group or aggregate, nothing like that. You're evaluated individually for this paper, and if you're scoring 50 out of 100, you'll be considered pass. Are you with me so far, everyone? Are you able to follow me? So far, so good? Yes? Perfect. Now let us get into the format of the paper. Okay? So there are going to be 3 sections in the paper. Section A, B, and C. Section A and B are objective test questions. That means you do not have to write descriptive answers. You just have to make the right choice, or you have to put in the right answer in a box, which will be numerical answer. So like that. There is no description that you have to give for the answer. And section C is a constructive response section where you have to write descriptive answers. So section A will have 15 individual questions, independent. They're not correlated. So section A will have 15 independent questions of 2 marks each. Each question will carry 2 marks, and the total will be 30. 15 into 2, 30. Section B will have 3 questions. Now, when I say 3 questions, there will be 3 case studies, and each of these case studies will have 5 sub-questions, which may be interrelated. So 3 case studies, and each case study has got 5 sub-questions. And each of these 5 sub-questions will also carry 2 marks. So 5 into 2, 10 marks, and 3 questions, 3 case studies. So 3 into 10, 30. So section A has got 30 marks. Section B has got 30 marks. Then section C, it's constructed response. Here you will get 2 case studies. Okay. And each of these case studies will carry 20 marks each. So 2 case studies into 20 marks each, that is 40 marks. So that adds up to 100. 30 plus 30 plus 40. 100 marks. Okay. Now, what is the split of questions here? It could be anything. It could be 1 question of 20 marks. It could be 2 questions, one of maybe 16 marks, second of 4 marks. Any combination is possible. 3 questions are also possible. 10 marks, 5 marks, 5 marks, anything. Okay. It is not specified by ACCA how this 20 marks will be split. So 2 questions, 20 marks each, totaling up to 40. Okay. So that makes us the total of 100 here. Now, is this table clear? Did you understand the structure of the paper? Yes. Understood, no? Okay. Now, let me do one thing. I will show you one paper so that you understand what type of questions can come. You'll be able to relate better. So, please open your browsers and type in ACCA practice platform. Please type this in your browser ACCA practice platform and click enter. Have you all got your ACCA login ID and password? My ACCA account ID and password. Do you have access to that? Not yet. Is your registration with ACCA complete? All of you who have not got it? Okay. If it is not completed, please get in touch with your coordinator at VGLD and ask them about the completion, how much time it would take, because it's important, of course, to start your journey with ACCA. So please get yourself registered and you will get my ACCA ID password from them. Okay. So today, I mean, the day would be over by the time class ends. So please reach out to them on Monday and help, to get the ID password. They will, of course, assist you with that. Okay. So past exams and question practice. So if you have not got the ID password, no problem. Just follow the steps which I'm showing over here. And those of you who have the ID password, please follow the steps along with me. Okay, so what did I do? I typed in ECCA practice platform. And this is the link which is showing up here, past exams and question practice. So click on that and scroll down. Okay. And click on login to the practice platform. So they'll ask you about your username password. If you have it, please type it. Please type it. And click on sign into my ACCA. Let me know when you are here on the screen, all of you. You should be able to see the screen. Please confirm those of you who have the ID password. Those of you don't, please wait and see the steps over here. Yes? Perfect. Now, scroll down and you will see Rahul, are you able to follow the steps? Do you have the user ID password? Do you have the user ID password, Rahul? Okay, then you watch the steps here. And later when you get them, you can follow it. You can watch this, or it's very simple anyways. You can do it on your own later as well. So what you'll do is you click on financial management here. And then ACCA official resources. And then click on practice exams. So financial management, ACCA official resources, and practice exams. And you will see FM pre-March 2025 mock exam over here. Okay. So what you do, click on assign. Okay. Click on the assign button. And you will see a paper getting added over here, pre-March 2025 mock exam. So I've attempted other papers also, so that's what is showing for me. You will see just this, FM pre-March 2025 mock exam. Okay. And you click on resume. Resume or start, whatever is showing to you. Click on that. For FM pre-March 2025 mock exam. Okay. And now you will see this. See, as I told you, section A, it consists of 15 objective test questions, 2 marks each, total 30 marks. Then you click on next. Now you will start seeing the questions. This is how the mock would be appearing to you. Okay. So you won't understand the concepts now. It's just to show you what the paper looks like. Okay. So here it's like an MCQ question. See, please understand objective test questions and MCQ questions are different. In MCQ, you just have to select the right answer out of a few options. But objective test question, it includes MCQs, but it includes other types of questions also, which I will show you here. So this is an MCQ question. So I'm randomly selecting one of the options and then I click on next. Then here also it's an MCQ question. So let's select the relevant option and click on next. Now see, this is also an objective test question. So you have to calculate simply company's inventory holding period, trade receivable collection period, and trade payables payment period. All calculations should be to the nearest day. So inventory holding period, you have to select one of the options and drag it. See, and selecting, dragging. See, like this. Understood? So this is also an objective test category question. Did you understand what I did? See, I'll do it again. This is the way options are given to you. You have to drag and put them in the correct boxes. Of course, you don't know the calculations now. You will learn it in the syllabus. But this is how you will be dragging and putting them in the boxes. Then once you're done, click on next. And one more very, very important thing. For this answer to give you 2 marks, all 3 have to be correct. If even any one of them is incorrect now, you will get 0. So it's either 100% correct or incorrect. There's no partial marking in section A or B. Very, very clearly, all the options have to be correct for you to get the marks. Did you follow me? In section A and B, no step marking, no partial marking. Either it is 2 or it is 0. Nothing in between. Okay. And a few more things I'll show you right away. So the dollar symbol is available, like different currencies, a dollar, euro, pound, yen, and all. So that is available. Then highlight function is available. So for example, like you're reading the question and you feel that, okay, I should highlight this. You can highlight it like this. Or if you want to change the color. So 85% of sales are on credit. I want to change the color, let's say. So you can use different colors also, but yes, you can highlight. Then does this highlighted part get submitted to the examiner? No. Only your final answers will get submitted. Whatever you do, highlight, strike. So you can click on strike through also. Let's say you're reading the questions and you find that something is irrelevant. You don't want to spend your time again on reading it. You can select it and click strike through. So it will strike it through. Then calculator is available here. But this is, please, absolutely do not use it. Of no use. I mean, it's so not user friendly now. I mean, I would really recommend all of you, please carry your own calculators in the exam. Do not rely on this one. It's very difficult to use and, it just wastes a lot of time, I feel. So that's why I'm saying carry your own calculator. So scientific calculator is available and standard calculator is also available here. So 8 into 3 equals 24. So you have to follow like click, click, click and get the calculations. Better than that, carry your own calculator. And Scratchpad is available. So remember, I was just telling you that rough sheets would be provided to you in center-based exam and not in remote exams. So what will remote exam students do? They can use the Scratchpad functionality to scribble their thoughts. Okay. So you can write down whatever you want to scribble here and it will stay. Ma'am, will it get submitted to the examiner? No. It will stay here only. It doesn't get submitted to the examiner. Are you with me so far? All these functions, have you understood? So you can use, if some thought is coming to you that you want to just write down, that it can get used later. So just jot it down here in the Scratchpad, right? Then you also have one very important tool over here, and that is the formula sheet. So first is exam instructions. So It will be a timed exam, 3 hours, and all of those exam instructions are available to you, which I'm already also discussing, like formula sheet, calculator, highlight, scratch pad. Okay, so as I said, the notes workings entered into the scratch pad or your working paper during the live exam will not be marked. If you want the marker to see any notes workings for questions in the constructed response question only, that is section C, you must show them within your answer area. So we'll come to that also. So all the instructions which we are going to cover today in the class, that is available here. Then constructed response question help. We will come back to this when we see section C questions, not now. And FM formula sheet. Now this is very important. Let it load. See, a lot of important formula. I'll make it a little bigger. See, a lot of the important formula which you will be learning during the course, you will be seeing it over here. So EOQ, then Miller-Orr model, CAPM, acid beta formula. See, this is a complicated formula. I'll tell you a simpler version which you will remember rather than using this formula. Although given, you'll find my version of the formula simpler. So we'll come to that. Then the growth model, dividend growth model. Okay. Then Gordon's growth approximation. So all of these formula, they are given to you. Then you're given with the present value table. This is very important. We'll be using it in the class also. I'll tell you. So for section A and B, listen to me carefully, wherever needed. I'll tell you when the topic comes also, but just as a point to note, for section A and B, please use the present value table given in exam. There could be rounding of errors otherwise. So present value table here, this one, and there is one annuity table here. You will be using this. Ma'am, how to use that I will teach you. Not today. When the topic comes, I will teach you. But remember, for section A and B, you need to use this table given in the formula sheet. So these formula, the present value table, the annuity table, all of this will be given to you. You can look at them and use it to solve the questions. So that's the best thing about ACCA. They don't expect the students to keep marking up different formula, because in real life also you get access to these formula very easily. So all the difficult ones they have put in here, and you just need to know how to apply these formula. That's very crucial, right? Looks scary. What looks scary? Which one is looking scary? Tell me. Acid beta formula. This you will learn. No, it's not scary. Don't worry about that. I will explain and break down all these formula to you. So don't worry about that. See, these are all coming together now, all concepts, everything has been put together in just one sheet. So that's why it's looking complicated. I can assure you, you won't feel the same once we have covered that in the class. Okay, so that was the formula sheet that it is available to you, and how to use, we will learn that. Okay, then we move to the next question. So for example, okay, now that we have done this question, I feel that I'm not very confident in this one. So I can mark this question for review. So click on flag for review and it gets marked. So later, once I'm done with the paper, whichever questions I've marked for review, now I can come back and I can see it. I can see any question again, but this will remain in my memory that, yeah, this is something I definitely need to relook at. So I click on next. It will show me the next question. Let's see what it is. So you can select the option. This is an MCQ question. I'm randomly selecting, okay, right now. So this is also an objective test question. So what is the equivalent annual cost of using the machine if it were bought and replaced every 4 years in perpetuity? So you have to write the answer to the nearest dollar. And what is to the nearest dollar? That means you have to round off to the nearest dollar. And I'll be doing an exercise with you on this also. Okay, after we are done with the orientation, I'll show you some exercise. So you have to calculate the number and input the number correctly. It has to be absolutely right for you to get the marks. If there is rounding off errors, anything, you will be marked incorrect. Okay. So, use the present value table, annuity table. I'll tell you how to use, but use it for section A to avoid losing silly marks. Losing marks to silly mistakes. Then let's click on next and we move to the next question. Now, look at this. So far, all the questions we solved, like the MCQ ones, we were able to select just one option only. If I try selecting two, it will just go, okay. If nothing is specified now, like here, nothing is specified how many options I need to select, I will have to select only one option, okay. And you notice that one thing, I'll tell you why I'm asking you to notice. It's a round selection box. It's a round selection box, so 0.361, and I'm getting to select only one option. Now I'll move to the next question. It's asking me to select two. Which of the following descriptions are not the main macroeconomic policy objectives? So you have to select two. You can select multiple, but you're just ensuring that your answer gets marked incorrect. Select two answers and move on. Here you will see it's a square box. So whenever you see square box, be careful and read the question carefully. How many options are they asking us about? Okay. 1 second. Yeah, so select it and then move on. Randomly selecting for the time being. Again, select one. So here it's a round box. So you'll get to select just one. Again, what is Salvo company's interest cover to one decimal place? So 2.5, let's say. Again, to the nearest dollar. Let's say 10. So you can see which question we are doing currently over here in this part. Okay, so we are currently on the 14th question. That is still section A is going on. And then again, now comes section B. So we are done with 15 questions. Now section B starts. So section B has got three objective test cases. And each of these objective test case will contain 5 objective test questions. Okay, 3 scenarios, 5 objective test questions each, and each one of them will carry 2 marks. So let's click on next. So now look at this. This is a scenario which is given to you. The following scenario relates to question 16 to 20. Okay, same scenario. So don't spend your time in rereading the scenarios in every question. Same scenario will be there. So this part, left hand side part, will be same. And this is the type of scenario which you will get. And then questions as, similar objective test questions. So here, see what is written? M is written. M means what? Million. Okay. So I'll teach you all of these. We'll come to the exercise later, but I'm just asking you to observe these things in the paper. Then next, see, as I told you, scenario will be same. And the question on the right hand side will keep changing. I'm not attempting now. I'm just moving past a little quickly. So till question number 20, you are seeing the same exhibit, BMC company. Now let's move to the next one. Now, question number 21. And this is the scenario. So earlier one was BMC company. Now this is Tudor company. And see, again, It's a square box. The question is asking to select 2. It could be 2 also, 3 also, 4 also, 5 also. Okay. So all the selected answers have to be correct for you to get the marks. I'm clicking on next. Now this is also select the correct combination. So let's say bank pays tutor company so and so amount, or tutor company pays bank so and so amount. So both of these boxes have to be correct for you to get the marks. This is also a type of objective test question. Different varieties can come, so don't assume that only MCQ questions are objective test questions. Okay. So a lot of you are new, so that's why you need to have this clarity again. Which 2 of the following statements are true? So you have to select 2. If you select even 1, and although if it is correct, you will not get the marks. You have to select 2 and you have to get both of them right to get the marks in section A and B. Why? Because section A and B is evaluated by a computer. No human is going to check your answer. It will get automatically evaluated by a computer. So there is no scope for any judgment that, okay, there was a minor error only, small error only, so you can ignore. Doesn't happen like that. Now, the third scenario for section B, and that is Karuba company. Now, this relates for question number 26 to question number 30. Okay, now the same scenario you will see across all the 5 questions, and you have to write in your answers in these boxes. So again, 2 options have to be selected. You can see a square box. Now section B is done. So we saw 3 scenarios there, objective test questions, and now we have section C question. Now let's see how it looks like. This is how it looks like. So again, a very detailed scenario. So this scenario relates to 5 requirements. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 requirements are here only. 5 marks, 2 marks, 1 mark, 2 marks. So 5 requirements are here itself. Sorry, 4. 4 requirements. Okay, and this is the scenario. You'll have to read it and use this response option, this spreadsheet functionality to solve. Okay, you have to use this only. So answer for question number 31, all these questions which you can see over here, they have to be put here. One thing which you should be aware of is that it allows you to copy paste. Okay, so I'm selecting it and I'm pressing Control C on my laptop and I press Control V. It helps me to put it in this way. And I can resize the cells like this, the way I wanted. And okay, so copy paste from question is also allowed. So if you want to, let's say, copy this and put it here, that's also allowed. Now, let us become accustomed to the different cells which you can see over here. That's also very important to know. So this is a reset function. If I click this, everything which I've written over here will vanish. So it's all gone. All the formatting, all the resize, whatever, it's gone. The function is of no use. I'm pressing Control Z. It doesn't allow me to Control Z also. So anyways, so I'm just copying it again. Yes, I'll discuss that. So here, like I've pasted this, okay, net present value, we can solve it below. Now, the first function is a reset function, not much useful. Then we have a cut function. What is the keyboard shortcut for cut? What is the keyboard shortcut for cut? Control X, right? Let's try it here. I'm pressing Control X on my keyboard. And what is the paste shortcut? What is the keyboard shortcut for paste? Control V, right? No, not Control P. Control P is for printing, Rupinder. Excel shortcut or keyboard shortcut for paste generally is Control V. Now let me press Control V. See, I press Control V. It gets pasted. Now I press Control C for copy. Control C copied. I want to paste it here. It works. So your basic Excel shortcuts, they will work here. So cut, copy, paste. Then this is Format Painter. You can format the, you can copy the format of cells using this, but not much useful for exam. It can be useful in Excel, of course, but not in exam. This I'm ignoring. This is undo function. So if I press this, I pasted it here now, so it got undo. I want to repeat this. So see, I'm pressing Control Y. So Control Z is for undo. Control Y is for redo. So you can use these functions here. So undo, redo functions. Excel shortcuts also work. Okay, Control Z and Control Y. Then you have the zooming level over here. Like if you want to zoom it up to 200%, or maybe you want to zoom out to 75%. So you can use it, but I don't see much use of it. Keep it at 100%. It's well and good. Then font size option is also available. You can increase it as much as you want. Ma'am, would there be a use for it? If you want to give a heading. See, Asha, look at this, what I just did. So it was coming like this. I double clicked here. I double clicked when this particular icon came up, and it auto fits the cell. Okay. Like this also, if I press, it will auto fit. So if you want to give headings with a larger font size, you can do it, or you may not do it in a larger font. You can simply do it in a normal font with a bold. So that's also something you can do. The function is available to you. What is the function for bold? Keyboard shortcut, Control B. See, it works here. Control B, I'm pressing Control B on my keyboard and it is working. Then I want to make it italics. So I can press Control I. It becomes italics. I want to underline it. What is the keyboard shortcut? Control U. See, all of these are working here. You want to color the font in certain color. So you can do that as well. Okay. You want to fill the cell with a particular color. Let's say, see this font color, I don't see much use of it, but at least color fill option is useful. Like if you want to highlight your main answer with a certain color, so that you can do with this color fill option. Okay. No formula for font color and fill color. You have to click and use it here. Okay, for all these like underline, italics, all of that is available, but not for fill color. Okay. Then alignment you can use. Yeah, but it doesn't work. All the alt shortcuts of Excel now, none of them will work here. So if you try pressing Alt H, nothing will happen. I'm pressing it, but it doesn't work. It works in Excel only. That's why I said some of your control functions work. Okay, like if I press Control F here, I think Control F also doesn't work. Yeah, it does work. So find function works, and those control functions will work, but not the alt ones. Yes. Okay. Then alignment function. So it's a left alignment, you can do that. Center alignment can be done. Right alignment can be done. Not much of a use, but yes, it is available. Then let me write down a few numbers here. So let's say I sum it up. So these functions work now, like formula, sum formula. So I've pressed equals to sum. If you press tab on your keyboard now, it completes the formula. So equals to sum, and I pressed tab. It puts the bracket on its own. Then select the cells which you want to add up and close the bracket. So you're getting 122 here. So it performs this. Now if I want to sum this one also, one way is I again type in the sum function, I sum it up. Or what else I can do is Control C, Control V. So the formula gets dragged. Okay. So that is something which you can use. Other formula like average. See, I typed this average, just hour till hour I've typed, and then I'm pressing tab on my keyboard. This tool itself is completing the formula. So I can click average here, close, Control C, Control V. So this is how, you can use some Excel shortcuts here. Ma'am, I want to present this without any decimal place. What do I do? What you have to do is right click and format cells. Go to number. You want up to, you do not want any decimal place, right? So you just write 0. Okay. See, the decimal place went. Ma'am, I want up to 1 decimal place. What do I do? Again, format cells. I want up to 1 decimal place. So I'm adding 1 decimal, 0.0. Apply. See, 40.7. So any type of formatting that you want to do, that will come over here. So number, and if you want to make it into a currency, so this will be useful in the FM paper, especially if you want to convert it into a particular currency, let's say into pounds. It becomes pound, 41 pound. Similarly, I want to convert it into maybe yen or dollars. So I can apply it like this. See, it gets converted. So you have few currency options available, and only those currencies are asked in the paper also. So you can use the currency feature here. Date function, I don't see it will be very useful. Then time also not useful. Percentage, you can use this. So let's say I write down a percentage here, 0.3. I'm writing 0.3 and I want to show it as 30%. I have done 30 by 100. I'm getting 0.3. I want to show it as a, percentage. So format cells, percentage, apply. See, it gets converted into percentage. I want it up to 1 decimal place, 2 decimal place. All of those options are available. See, percentage, 1 decimal, 2 decimal. You can do that from here. Then fraction won't be useful, scientific won't be useful. Need to use currency with value. Yes. Yes. So you can add and subtract using these values. So no worries over there. Like if I want to add 41 with 6, it will work. Okay. So you can, although the currency symbol is written inside the cell, it will consider it as a number only. You can use this. Okay. Now coming back to that format cells function, let me show you what all are there. Then you have alignment, which is your left, center, right, which is available outside also. And if you want to do a vertical alignment, not needed, don't spend your time on this. But this is also a very important function, which is wrap text. Let me show you its use. I want to write a long statement that it will find inside the cell. So let me put this here. See what happened? The statement went away, it got hidden. So for that, I press format cells, I go to alignment, I go to wrap text, and I click on OK. See, it wraps it. And if you want to resize the cell, you can do it. You want to resize the height also, just double click it and it adjusts. Okay. So this is the way you can use the alignment function of format cells. So again, let's go back to format cells. Let's see what all is available. Ma'am, is merge function available? No. Merging can't be done on the tool. Of course, it can be done in Excel, but it can't be done on the tool. Then border. Now let's say I want to apply a border to this. See, this cell border has come. I don't see much use of it for exam purpose, but yes, this feature is available to you. So these are all the features which are available on the spreadsheet function. Please take some 2 minutes, observe what all is there on the screen. And if you have any doubts whether this will work, that will work, you can ask me. So one more thing which you will be needing is like year and cash flow. Okay, that's a 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you might be asked to calculate IRR. And I will tell you all of these functions during the class, and I will tell you only those functions which will work on the tool. Just telling you one sample here. So equals to IRR. I select all the, I apply the formula correctly and I want to convert it into percentage. See. So different formula will work. It's not just sum and average. Different formula will work. I'll tell you which one will be useful for you. But this is a sample. Like if you have to calculate IRR, you can do it very simply. Please go through it. Anything that you're getting in your mind, please ask. Take your time, no hurry. Mansi is all clear, okay. Done? Perfect. Related functions are available to use. Yes, so whatever you will need for the syllabus, I will tell you that all of these are relevant. You will get to use them. Okay, now let's move ahead. So this was one Excel functionality. Okay, so one more thing which I want to tell you is that a lot of times, I'll tell you some tricks for some concepts. And it is possible that question comes in section A or B. But the trick is an Excel trick to solve very quickly. So in such cases, now what you can do, whatever raw data that you need, you can write it down on your rough sheet and you can come to any question of section C which has got this Excel. You can type in the numbers here, do the calculation and delete it. You have got your answer because in section A and B, you don't need to give any supporting calculation. So you can go to section A and B and just type in your numbers there. So in this way, what happens is you're able to save your time and you're able to use the trick in section A and B also. But that will be in a very few instances. But yes, I'm just telling you thoughts that yes, this is also possible. That if you find a question which you can solve very quickly in section C in Excel, just come to section C, put the data here, get your answer, delete the data and go back to that particular question and you're done. If you find that you're not able to use the calculator a lot. Okay, now let's move to the next question. Now this is a word file which you have to write. So as I told you now, previous question had 4 subparts. The previous question had 4 subparts to it, right? And this is the 5th part. The question had said that it relates to 5 requirements. So this is the 5th requirement that it is carrying 10 marks. So as I mentioned, the split can be anything. And keep it in mind, although FM itself is a practical paper, but the questions will be mix of theory and practical. And these theory questions also now, it's not like you have to cram up some models and concepts and you have to repeat those concepts in the exam. The theory also here will be oriented to practical only. So if you see, discuss the suitability of the techniques used in A. Practical question for determining whether to undertake an investment and advise whether the company, the proposed investment is financially acceptable. So this is a discussion on the practical aspects only. So there's nothing you could have crammed here and repeated in the answer. Okay, so keep this in mind from day one itself, that you are not preparing just for doing calculations, but also equally for the theory concept. So whenever we are discussing theory in the class, so you have to be equally attentive and, learn that as well. When I say learn, I don't mean to cram up, but you have to learn the concepts which will be useful for you to solve the paper. Okay. And now this is the word processor file which you will be using. Now what all functions are available? See, it's similar. The cut, copy, paste, all those shortcuts will work. Undo, redo buttons, find button, bold, italics, underline, strike through buttons. If you want to strike something, I don't find it useful. Why will you strike through something? You can just delete off if you want to remove something. Then superscript, subscript. So for example, beta equity. So if you want to put this as a subscript, you can select this E and put it in the subscript. And if you want to make it superscript, you can select this E and it will go in the superscript also. So these functions are available. Then next is you can insert tables also here. Ma'am, I don't need to do calculations, right? No, you don't have to do calculations. This is just for maybe summarizing some things. Okay. So let us say source, cost, weights, equity, 10%, weight is 80%. Just giving you a sample, you might find it useful. Okay. So you can press tab, it automatically adds one row, or you can click here, right click also here, cell, then cell properties. This function is available. Or you can add row, insert row before, after, delete row, cut row, copy row, paste row. So a lot of table functions will be available. Similarly for column also. If you want to delete the table, it will delete the table also. So you can press Ctrl Z to get it back. So this is available. This may be useful, okay? So inserting a table may be useful. Then there is indenting function, alignment function available here as well. Left alignment, center alignment, right alignment, justified alignment. Justified alignment is useful for paragraphs. You can make it bulleted. You can make the list bulleted, for example. You can make it a bulleted list. You can make it a numbered list also. Okay. Let's say you are typing something which you want to, change the indent. Either you can press tab on the keyboard or you can use this. This also works. Tab button also works. So this is for indenting towards the right. This is for indenting towards the left. And paragraph, let it be paragraphs only. You can use different format types, but I don't find it to be very useful. But yes, this is also available to you. Please take 2 minutes, observe what is on screen and let me know if it's okay. Anything you want to ask on whether this will work, not work, you can ask me that as well. Yeah? All of you let me know, okay? Take your time, no hurry. Done. Okay, then let's move to the next question. So then we see the next scenario and it relates to 4 requirements. Okay, similar type of Excel you can see over here. And observe this, like prepare the cash flow forecast, calculate the forecast quick ratio, Okay, so all of these are calculation based, so you have to do the calculations here only. Ma'am, can I copy paste the requirement so that I can save time in giving a heading? I press Control C, I press Control V. Okay, 1 second. And so you can, paste like this, and you can use the wrap text function which I've shown you to give the headings the way you want it. Okay. Ma'am, can I add or delete rows or columns? No, you cannot add, you cannot delete. The number of rows and columns are fixed. If you want to move something, you can press Control X and move it elsewhere. But you can't delete the content of a particular column. See, number of rows will be 300. See, total 300 rows, and this will be up to CV row, a CV column. This is how the sheet is structured. You can't add or delete columns. So this is the next scenario having relation to 4 requirements. So these are the 2 requirements. So 7 plus 3, 10 marks. Here also, if you see, practical question is 10 marks. And the balance is for your theory. Discuss 2 ways in which the cash management could be improved. So you have to write the answer properly over here. So this is asking to discuss. Okay, this is asking to discuss. Please observe these words. I'll come back to these later. So you have to discuss 2 ways. And then similarly, if I move ahead, the last requirement, explain the motives for holding cash. It's carrying 6 marks. So with that, the section C question also comes to an end. You can see the type of tools, response options that you're able to get. If it's a theory question, they will give you Word. If it's a practical question, they will give you Excel. Okay, you don't have to worry where will I do the calculations and all. If it's a theory question, it won't require calculation, so you don't have to do it. Right? Then let's move towards the end. So I have left a few questions now. See, it is telling me these questions are incomplete. So it gets my attention, and if I want to go back and do these, if I'm having the time, I can attempt them. And I had marked one question for review, so I can revisit that question as well. Okay. So once I'm done, I can end the exam. Okay. Are you sure you want to end? Yes. It will again ask you, are you sure you want to end? And the reason is, once you end the exam, there is no going back. In real exam, you can't reappear or recall the exam. You will have to close the exam. Okay, so are you sure you want to end the exam? Click on yes. And the exam is over. Ma'am, I want to see the answers. Where do I see the answers? How do I know what I've done is right or wrong? So for that, you have to go to the mark section. And here you will see FM pre-March 2025 attempted today, right? 8th March. So you can see it over here. I click on self-mark. See, the first option I select randomly, but I've got it right. So it is showing me my score 14 out of 100, but actually it is 14 out of 60. Computer is marking you for section A and B only. So 14 out of 100 it is showing me. See, this is the wrong answer. 10.5, this is the right answer. And why it is the right answer, that also they have explained here. So whether it is the right answer, wrong answer, they have given you the explanation here to help you understand. See, all 3 were wrong. Even if any 1 or 2 was right, I still would have got 0 here. Okay. The calculations are given over here. Then next, so this way you will get the answer for all the questions. Ma'am, what about section C questions? Let me show you that, how they will give you. So this was section C, question number 1. Here they will give you the marking guideline also, like on what basis the examiner gives you marks, because here examiner will be giving you marks, right? See what I wrote, it is coming over here. This is how the examiner also sees it. They will give you the marks in here, and any remarks that they want to add, they can add here. But anyways, let's see what the marking guideline is. See, there is step marking here. I told you now in section A and B there is no step marking. There is step marking in section C, but if you have done the inflated contribution calculation correctly, you will get 1 mark. If you have correctly calculated the inflated fixed cost, you will get 0.5 marks here. Tax calculation, tax timing, investment, all of these things you can see here, you will get point-wise marks. Ma'am, I did some calculation incorrectly first and then it flowed into some other calculation. Will I get marks later? Although the number which I was getting is incorrect, you will get step marks. If the process that you've applied is correct, but you are getting an incorrect answer because of a preceding mistake, ACCA considers that and it gives you marks. Okay, IRR calculation, payback calculation, average profits, all of this. This is how the total marks are split, and the examiner uses this guide to allot marks to you. And what is the right answer? How do I see that? Click on this. Click here to see the sample answer. So this is what the correct answer is. Okay, all the calculations and what will give you how many marks, that is given to you. See, this is the model answer. So if you want to solve a question and then you want to check whether you got it right or not, you can take a look at these model answers. Okay, similarly, you can see it for the other ones also. Marking guideline, you can see the sample answer here. See, this is the sample answer for question number 32. Similarly, for question number 33, I want to see what the answer is. This is the marking guideline. And click here to see the sample answer. See, this is the sample answer. Okay, so once you solve, you'll be able to get the correct answers here. I'm sure now you are getting a hang of how you can see the different questions and their answers. In section C, we get marks in each step, or there is only marks for correct answer. You will get marks in each step. There is step marking. If you see the marking guideline, see, if you calculate the receipts correctly, you get 1 mark. Just 1 second. Yeah. So as I was mentioning, you will get marks for the steps. Whatever you perform correctly, you will get the marks for that. Okay. So don't worry if anyone calculation there's a mistake. Even if it flows to the next calculation, if you have done the process for that correctly, you will get the marks. Okay. So all the marking schemes, all the sample answers you can find for all the papers. Now I'll just show you how many papers are available on the platform. I also got a doubt once, ma'am. Can we redo this mock which you've just done? Yes, of course. So if you want to redo this mock, you will have to, you know, we assign this now. You first click on unassign. Again, if you assign, you can start the same process which I showed you. Okay. So the answers are available and see how many question papers are available. See, past exam library, 1, 2, all these are past papers. Huh? But be careful, for the past papers, ACCA does not release the questions of section A and B. It releases questions for section C only. So all these past papers, if you open them, you'll be able to see only section C questions. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 papers here. Then 3 practice exams and 1 specimen exam. So around 12 papers you can practice, and all of these papers you can solve here and you will be able to see their answers in the mark section. Over here. Okay, so you can see the answers and the questions like that. Understood? So this is a sample exam question paper. Okay. So I hope all of you are fine. Anyone lagging behind? All good? Yes? Okay. If you get any doubt now, please type it right away. Don't feel shy that ma'am is talking. Can I type in between? You can type anytime. Whenever I'm done, I'll take up your query in the class. Okay? Don't wait for me to ask if you have any doubts. You can just post it whenever you get them. Okay, and in fact, a very simple thing I'm sharing with you. I keep the class very open-ended. Okay, I like interactive class when students also ask queries, they share their opinions. I really enjoy that. So keep it engaging for me also. You can post your thoughts, your queries. Just don't feel shy like what will ma'am think or what will other students think. Just ensure that you are getting full satisfaction from the learnings that you are here for. Okay. Uh, how many lectures? So total about there are 120 hours maximum about which it goes, and then it also depends on the question practice we do. Sometimes the number of hours increase if we do a lot of question practice in the class. About 100 to 120 hours we can wrap up the syllabus, but then I keep some extra hours for practice, question practice. Okay. Syllabus we will be completing by 30th April. Okay. And doubt class I'll schedule later in the middle of May. Okay. All right. Let's move ahead. Now, what are the top resources that you need to pass the exam? So first is trainings from VGLD. Now, one thing I want to, I'll spend some time over here on this point. Somehow, I don't know, the way we have studied maybe so far, we have this habit of referring to many books for the same thing. Okay, like somehow a lot of students, they will refer VGLD book also, BPP also, Kaplan also, some other private publications, and they make a mess for themselves. Very clearly, let me tell you, please refrain from all of this. Do not engage in multiple books. Questions will not come common from anywhere. If your concepts are solid, you will be able to attempt the questions, exam questions only then. So focus your efforts on getting the concepts cleared rather than running helter-skelter doing multiple books. That won't help you. You are only creating a mess for yourself. Okay. So we are going to be covering the VGLD book in our class. Okay. The VGLD book, please get it from the admin team. If you have got it, good. If you're yet to get it, please reach out to your coordinator and get a copy of the book ASAP. Okay. So VGLD book is what we will refer. Then all the resources which I show you in the class, except the book you will get from the admin team, all the other resources like any Excel file, any presentation, any video which I play in the class, all of it will be shared with you. You do not have to take any screenshot. You do not have to write or type anything at all. Everything I speak will be covered in my notes. So just sit straight and listen to me. That's the only thing that you have to do while you're attending the lectures. Okay. So that's what I need from your side, that you be attentive. Okay. No need to write anything. You will get all the notes. No need to take any screenshot. Just pay attention on what is being discussed. Okay. So yes, the VGLD book, then you will get chapter wise Excel files. Okay. You will get chapter wise Excel files for all the concepts, all the chapters that we will cover. It will be there in the Excel. All the questions that we solve in the class, it will be there in Excel. So that you will get from my side. Okay. So that should be completely sufficient. The book itself is very exhaustive. So if any one of you has got it and you have seen it, you will see that it's a very exhaustive book. So the book is divided into two parts. First part is questions, and second part is sorry, my bad. First part is content, and second part is questions and answers. Chapter wise, both of them. Content is also chapter wise, and question answers are also chapter wise. So we'll be using that. After every chapter is complete in the class, I will share across the notes. So I don't share the notes after every class, but I share them once the chapter is complete. I'll share it with the VGLD team and they will share it on your LMS. Okay. So note sharing, they happen after the chapters are complete. So that's about trainings from VGLD. Assuring you end-to-end course will be completed with complete understanding of all the topics. Just one request from you is be regular in the class, and if possible, to attend the live lectures. Nothing like it. Okay, because during live lectures you can post in your queries, you can ask me to explain a topic again, and it's easier to grasp. What I've seen over the years, students who are attending the live lectures, I've seen them having better results. That's my personal experience. So if you are able to join in the live lectures, please do that. Okay. And if you're coming for the live lectures, be regular. Don't attend, like if you attend a Monday class, then you miss the Wednesday class, then you come for the Friday class. Don't do that. Just try to be regular, be there in all the lectures. Okay. Anyways, every day we will be doing some content discussion, some question solving. So it will be a mix. So engage in all of these activities. If I'm giving you some question to solve, please solve it in class and then share your answers. I will share my feedback on those answers. So you will learn in this process. Okay. So don't just sit idle. Just don't keep, like I'm just, taking rest and watching the lecture as a movie. Don't do that. It's your career that we are talking about. So be very focused, be transparent that yes, I'm here to learn and I will learn. I will give my best shot. So if you keep that attitude, you will definitely pass, and not just pass, who knows, you might also be getting the next rank. Okay. So positive attitude is very important. Having confidence is very important. And being regular is very important. I feel these three qualities, if you can build in yourself, nothing can stop you from passing the paper. Not just the FM paper, any paper that you attempt here onwards, you will be fine. You will do it. Okay. So, uh, actually, I can't add you in the group. You'll have to reach out to Sandeep. No, no, no. All of them are a single batch. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday, Sunday, they are comprising a single batch only. Okay. Yes. So, I mentioned this earlier. Maybe you were not there in the class at that time. So the class schedule is Saturday, Sunday, evening slot, 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. And mornings, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. It's not going to be one stretch class. You will get a 15-minute break in between in all of these classes. So you can also refresh yourself. So that's what the schedule would be. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. And Saturday, Sunday, 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. PDF also, I can't share the PDF. Just reach out to the team. Have they mentioned that it will take 7 to 10 days for the book to be delivered? Okay. I'll check with the team for, the deliveries can be expedited. All of you, please complete the registration ASAP, huh? Because I think the book dispatch will happen after that only. I'll also drop in a message. So Monday, it's a morning batch now. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And let me drop in a message to for the books delivery. It's a morning batch. Try to see if you can attend as much as possible because maybe towards the later part we'll focus more on question solving so that you can see later. But timings would be that only. I can't change that unfortunately. No, question practice. Please do it from VGLD book only. It's very exhaustive. Don't do it from any other book. You'll find better questions here in the VGLD book. Okay. So, those of you who are having issues with the timing, one thing is either okay, one more. Okay, okay. See, as much as possible, try to attend live. But what I'm planning is like what I normally do also. I focus more on question practice towards the end of the classes. So you don't miss out on the concepts a lot. Simple question practice, which we'll be doing, which you can see later also. Okay, whenever the classes are done, you can watch the recorded part for the last 1 hour, half hour, whatever. If you're missing that, you can watch that. Okay, and try to adjust because it's professional course, so slight adjustments are needed. So for that reason, okay, all right. So yes, so trainings from VJT we were talking about, and yes, I've messaged Sandeep about books. Let's see if we can get it expedited. I'll see. All right, that is done. Number one. Number two is ACCA Study Hub. I'll show you what you need to do from the ACCA Study Hub. So you can open the browser and do it along with me. If you have your My ACCA account ID password, so type in ACCA Study Hub, okay, on your browser. If you have your ID password ready with you. Okay, and then click on this. First thing that you're seeing over here, ACCA Study Hub. And then scroll down and you will see this link here, alternate login. Yeah, you won't need to use any other book. We'll anyways do a lot of questions, extra questions in the class. I'll give you some good questions in the class other than the VGLD book questions, and VGLD you'll be able to solve on your own. So don't have to buy any other book. Just go with the class questions and the VGLD book questions. Some VGLD book questions also we do in the class also, but that would be sufficient for you. Okay, the past exam questions, they are also covered. We can also take up, see, as I told you, I keep some time for question practice. So if the syllabus gets completed fast, so we can do some question practice of the recent papers, like as I was showing you, September, December 24 paper is available, March, June 2024 papers are available. So we can solve those questions also in the class. So don't worry about your question practice. A lot of questions are done in the class. So for each topic, I try to put in one practical question for better understanding. Okay. Yes, so this is tricky. I was about to talk about that also. So recordings take about 24 to 48 hours because the team also edits those videos. So Monday video mostly will get ready by either Tuesday evening or Wednesday morning. So just giving you for reference. So that's a little tricky that you have to, see. Try not to miss the classes. If you are missing, okay, for example, if you're able to come in the morning hours and maybe you're dropping by 10 o'clock or something, 10:30. So balance part, you can watch later, maybe on Wednesday, or if it is getting provided by Tuesday, that's also good. You can complete it before the next lecture. Okay. All right. So for that, see, anyways, I'm going to be referring to the book only throughout. And whichever concepts need further elaboration or need more examples, I put that in my notes. Okay, something which might not be there in the book, that I put across in my notes. So for revising during the time a chapter is ongoing, you can refer to the book for revision. Everything is there in the book. I just, keep elaborating on certain topics which are very important. Okay. So, you can complete the, revision part from the book. And then when you get the notes, you can revise from my notes along with the question practice. That is something that you can do. Latika says syllabus will go on continuity. No, syllabus goes on in continuity. I have the way I teach, I keep linkages between the topics. So they will go on in continuity only. Okay, but don't worry. Mostly what we will do is later part we'll keep for doubts or we'll keep for question practice. So try to attend the lecture in the morning as much as you can. If it is getting struck with your work hours or college hours, try to attend as many hours as possible, and later part you can skip and watch the question practice later. But we'll go in continuity only. That gives a better understanding of the syllabus. The chapters are all, develops with each stage. So I don't like to, do random chapters here and there. It doesn't get, the fundamentals don't get strong otherwise. Okay. All right. And see, I'm telling you, you will realize that as the class also progresses, I'm always there to support you if you're not able to understand a topic. Okay. So for example, you missed a lecture and then somehow you're not able to complete it before the next chapter. And if there's a topic you're really struggling with, you're not able to understand, I'll always support you. So don't worry about that. You will find help. So don't feel that I've missed the lecture, I'll not be able to understand anything. I'll give you a brief synopsis, which will help you to understand further. So that's, you can rest assured. So don't worry about that. And those of you who are studying, don't miss this. Now, this is not for you all. If you are just studying, please use your time very, very carefully. Attend the lectures properly till the end. And those of you who cannot do it for reasons beyond your control, I'll always help you out. Always there to help you. All right. So now let's see what the study hub is about. So you'll click on alternate login here, okay? So once you click on alternate login, they will ask you about the username password. You can bookmark this page also so that you don't have to follow this long process every time you access it. You can bookmark it, enter your username and password. Click on sign into my ACCA. Okay. And go to this tab, not yet started. See this tab here, not yet started. I have already started it. So for me, it is showing in the dashboard, but in your not yet started tab now, you will see this thumbnail, see, of this girl like this. You will be able to see this thumbnail in the not yet started part. And this will be written for exams from September 24 to 25 FM. And if you're not seeing it in the first page, you scroll down, you'll be able to go to the next page also. Just find out the FM paper here in the not yet started tab, because you have not started it till now. You'll be seeing it here. I have already started it. So once you start it will start showing in the dashboard. So you'll not have to search every time. And see if you're able to get this. Let me know whenever you find it. Please see if you're able to get this. Found? Okay. Others, please confirm. Done now. Okay. So you click on study. Click on study here. Okay. You will see this list here, chapter wise. This is content published by ACCA. So this you need not refer because we are going to do the content from the book. But here also it is available. So our content is also based on ACCA's content only. So you won't need to refer this. Our chapters are also aligned with these chapters only. Then what is useful for you? Number one is quizzes. Okay. So after we complete every chapter, please come to this ACCA study hub, open the quiz of that chapter. So for example, we have completed chapter 2 today. Okay. So you come to this, you will see this step of a quiz. So just 5 questions. 5 questions each chapter. But the questions are very good. So which Islamic financial instrument involves a bank voluntarily paying its customers a gift on savings? So let's say it is HIBA. Okay, I click on this, confirm. Supply side, government policy. You'll be learning all of these concepts. So let's say I'm randomly selecting now. You read the question, give the answer, read the question, give the answer. Once you're done. So this is, I got just the first one which I read correctly. Rest all I randomly selected. All of them are wrong. But if you solve properly, you'll be able to learn a lot. How? Let me tell you how. So if you click on review all, you'll be able to see the correct answer. You can see the correct answer and the reason why it is correct. Okay. So let's say the second one. If it's a calculation type question, they will give you the calculations also over here. So supply side, what supply side policy is, that they will mention here, explain, the concept is explained. Then, different questions, whatever the answer is, suggested solution with explanation, that is given to you. And that is available chapter wise. Okay. So complete it for all the chapters when you complete a chapter. Okay, that respective one you can do. So this is one thing which is useful, and the other one is flashcards. Now, what are flashcards? So you have to click on view list, and you will see some 76 cards over here. These are keywords in the FM syllabus. You will be learning about all of them: corporate governance, macroeconomic policy, monetary policy, fiscal policy. All of this will come, you'll come across in the syllabus. Here they are given to you in a very, very, summarized form. Like, it's like a dictionary of the keywords of the FM syllabus. What you can do is you can take a printout of this, okay, and hang it up in your study table. So every once in a while you're studying or having a lazy time around your study table, at least you will see something useful. Okay, so you can take out a print and use it for, quick glance, like what is a warrant. All of these terms you will learn, but this becomes like a very good flashback of all those concepts. Okay, so this is something which you can use. This is like a one-time use. Just take out a print and put it up in your study table. Quizzes is every time we complete a chapter, you come to this and you solve the questions here. Okay, practice you won't need to do. The questions here also are from the previous papers. We have also covered the previous papers question in the book. So you don't need to practice from here. Search is nothing, just for within the module search. So two things which you will be using is flashcards and quizzes. Okay, but very useful. Do give it a try. Once you are done with a particular chapter, you will get to know the type of small questions, small concepts they test, and then you realize how strong you are in that particular concept. And if you get doubts also, you can ask me. We'll take it up in the class as well. All right, so coming back, the first is what? Trainings from VGLD. Then second is ACCA Study Hub. This is done. 2 sections only you need to refer to: quizzes and flashcards. Third is ACCA practice platform. Now you are champions of that platform. You know how to use it. Next we have ACCA examiner's report. Okay. ACCA examiner's report. Let me show you where you will get it. You can do it along with me. You don't need any ID password for this. You'll be able to access it. So go to Google and type in accaglobal.com. Please type it along with me. This is the official website of ACCA. I'm sure you would have accessed it before as well. Please type in accaglobal.com. Okay, press enter. All of you can do it. No need of any ID password. And then click on students. Click on, or just hover over students, and this list will pop up. And click on study support resources. Click on study support resources. And then click on ACCA qualification. Click on ACCA qualification. And then go to financial management. Go to financial management. And then if you scroll down, you will see this here. 2 things we are going to refer. So these 2 are the remaining important resources. One is technical articles and the other one is examiner's reports. Let's first cover examiner's reports. So click on this. Okay. And if you scroll down, see examiner's report for each of these attempts papers. You were able to see the paper and the solutions on the practice platform. Now here you can see the examining team's response to the students' performance in the papers. Okay, what you have to do is do it for 1 or 2 papers, not needed more than that. Just for 1 or 2 papers, once you appear for those papers from the practice platform, once you're done with that, Come here and read any one report, any one or two, as you're finding comfortable. So this is for September, December 24 attempt. So they give you section-wise feedback. They'll give you section-wise feedback of how the students performed in the paper. So section A. So of course, ACC does not release the questions for section A and B. That's why you were not, as I mentioned you, if you open any of the past papers, you'll not be seeing those questions there. But a few questions they will pick and choose and put them here. So let me show you once. So this is a section A question. What is the market value of each loan note up to 2 decimal places? So what the students did, what is the correct answer? The most common errors involved ignoring the redemption premium and or using a post-tax coupon of $4.8. See, when we also solve questions, I'll keep telling you, this is a common error which students do. You also keep, remembering these things so that you avoid them. See, what is the whole objective of reading this examiner's report? So that you don't make the errors which other students did. If a similar type of a question comes. Okay, that's the whole objective, nothing else. Like what the students did well, they also mentioned that as well in this examiner's report. So if you read it in detail now, this question tests what and what the performance was. See, the most common type errors involved not applying the growth rate correctly. And I'll keep telling you this. But once you are done with the syllabus and you're practicing the paper and then you read these points now, it will register with you. You will. So literally, one of the students, they messaged me after the exam was done on, so exams happened last week only, right? Wednesday, Friday. They were reading the question and they messaged me, ma'am, literally when I was reading the question in the exam, I could hear your voice in the background talking to me about this particular concept, that please don't make this mistake. So this is what the whole, discussion, I keep telling you, the classes are very important. See, you will be able to see the concepts from the book also. But when you keep hearing them that you have to avoid this mistake, the other students do this mistake, so you will slowly and gradually avoid those mistakes. And this ACCA examiner's report is also the same thing. When you read the other people's mistake, you will avoid them. Okay. So this is something you can keep as a to-do item, not now, after the syllabus is done. Okay. So this is there for all the sections, not all questions from section A and B, but few questions which they have picked and chosen here. You will be able to see the feedback for those questions. And for section C also, see. So they will look in detail in the two questions. So here, section C questions, they will look in a lot of detail. And they are available on the ECCA practice platform as well. Now, coming back, so the next important resource which you need to use is the technical articles. Now, this is again recommendatory, not mandatory from my side that you have to do it. See, quizzes and all, I'll say that you should do it. But technical articles, they are recommendatory. And let's say you're traveling on a metro, you're having some free time, you want to read some articles. This is the place to be. All the concepts, see, working capital management, accounts receivable management, foreign accounts receivable, all of these concepts we are going to cover in the class. But you want to read in more detail about it. Okay. Open up any article. So you're munching some snacks and you're having some free time. You want to spend it judiciously. You open up any article. So let's say you want to read about inflation impact in investment appraisal. Open this article. Look at the numbers. They'll give you very simple examples also. Numerical examples are also very simple here. So when you keep reading these things, it will just, make the concepts stronger. So all of it you will learn in the class. But just if you want to improve your understanding of a particular topic, you can of course first reach out to me, ma'am, I'm not understanding this topic. I'll also help you out. But still you're very interested, you want to learn more about it. you can refer to these articles. A lot of articles are there. Investment appraisal, equivalent annual costs. Some videos are also there if you want to see the videos. That also you can do. These are all published by ECC. Islamic finance, again, a very important topic, interesting topic. Same is there in the AFM paper also. So if you want to look in the article here, you can read it. You can see long list of articles are there. Behavioral finance. A lot of times students, they get confused here. You want to spend some time on it? Open this article, read it. Okay. So this is another resource which is available for you, good resource that you can use in your preparation. Okay. So these are the top resources. What are they? Trainings from VGLD, ACCA Study Hub, CBE Practice. CBE is computer-based exam, okay? So CBE Practice Platform, Examiner's Report, and ACCA Technical Articles. Let me know if all is well. Then we'll move to the next slide. Take your time. Anything that you want me to show again, some question is coming to your mind, how will we do this or that, you can ask me. There's a general question also in your mind, you can ask me. Because I see a lot of you are attempting ACC exam for the first time. So you might have a lot of questions in your mind, you can ask. And if it is done, you can message me okay, and then we'll move ahead. Take your time, no hurry. Done? All right. Perfect. So then let's move ahead. Before we get into this, let me remember I was showing you there that you have to round off and all. So this is a question practice for you. So let's say you are getting this number and the question is asking you to round to the nearest dollar. Okay, so what would you put in the answer box? Please do it together. I mean, don't post your answer one by one. It will all get cluttered in the answer box otherwise. I'm giving you some 5-7 minutes. Complete this fully and send me answer like 1, 2, 3, 4, like for all the 13 questions which you see here. Okay, be very careful. I've seen students making mistakes in very simple things like rounding off also, and you lose your marks. So that's why I'm, discussing this here. Once again, I'll add one more here. So please try this out. Don't message me one by one because a lot of you are there in the class now. All the questions will get jumbled up, answers will get jumbled up. Do it in your file and send it together to me. Okay, like run to 14. So giving you about 5 to 7 minutes, complete it and then send in your answers. Okay, I see a lot of you have tried. Let's see what you've got is right or wrong. Yeah. So round it to the nearest dollar, 432.11. If you round off, you will get 432. Okay. Then round it to one decimal place. So 432.45. What you'll have to look at is the number immediately after the required place. Since it is 5 and above, you will round up. So it becomes 432.5. Right? Then the next one. This is 432.41. So the number immediately after the required place is 1, that is less than 5. So this gets rounded off lower. It becomes 432.4. Then round it to the nearest $100. So the rounding off place is this. Keep looking at the cursor where it is blinking. It is 4532.65. So this will be what? 4500. Okay. Why? Because this number is less than 5. Round it to the nearest $1,000. So what is the rounding off place? Put a cursor there. See, the number is greater than 5, so it will get rounded up. It becomes 57,000. Okay, now I'll just quickly take a glance at your answers. I think all of you have done correctly so far. Niyati, I think it's a typing error or what? You're getting 432.1 here. It will be 432.4. Please cross-check once. I guess all of you have done it correctly still now. Perfect. Wait a second. Mansi, round it to the nearest $1,000. So it will be 57,000. Again, $100 rounding off. There is an error there. I hope it is clear now. Then, Ayush, there's an error in the rounding off of point number 4. Please let me know if it is clear. The rest I'm seeing all are done correctly only. Clear, no? Okay. All right. So now, next is rounded to the nearest $1 million. So they will specify, like I showed you also in one of the questions, they have written M outside and I told you that this M means million. So what will you write? Million has got 6 zeros, remember that. So 6 zeros, it means that this is the rounding off place. So it is 32.76 now. So it will be rounded off. Why? Because the number immediately after the place of rounding off is greater than 5. So this becomes 33. Right? So you'll be writing 33 in the box. Now round it up to the nearest dollar. Now rounding up is to be done now. You won't see if the number is greater than 5, not greater than 5, you will round up. So this is 432.11. Since you have to round up, you will be doing 433. Okay? You'll be doing 433 irrespective of whether this is 1 or this is 5 or this is 3 or 7. You're asked to round up to the nearest dollar. You will round up and the number will be 433 because this is the nearest complete dollar. Okay? Then round it down to the nearest dollar. This will be 432. Now, a lot of students, I'll also check for yours, what I've experienced before, they'll write 431 as the rounded down value. Please don't make that mistake. I see that Rahul has also done a mistake in point number 7. Rahul, let me know if it is clear. Then Harshita also, point number 7, there's an error. So when you have to round up now, you will always round up. You'll not see whether the number is 1 or 5. You'll always round up. A lot of you have made a mistake in point number 7. Okay, all right. Let me know if you get any doubt. Then we have rounded up, I think is, yeah, rounded up to 1 decimal place. So although it is 2 here, still I will round up because it is asking me to round up. So I'll do 432.5. Then rounded down, I'll round down. I don't change the number. Although it is 5, I've kept it same. It stays 432.4. Then next is rounded up to the nearest $1,000. Rounded up to the nearest $1,000. So what is the 1,000th place here? This, look at the blinking cursor. And the number here is 2. But do I need to check that? No, I will round up. It becomes 57,000. Then rounded down. What is the complete $1,000 below this? 56. Okay, not 55,000. Then rounded up to the nearest $100. This is 4532. You have to round up, so it will become 4600. You will not consider the number is 3 or 5. It will get, rounded up. And then rounded down, this will become 4500. Okay? So this is what you'll be doing. I'm sure now it is clear. Yes. So this can easily save you some marks because a lot of students, they just mess it up. You will do all the calculations correctly, last minute adjustment rounding off, and you lose the 2 marks because it's marked by a computer. They'll not see you have done the calculation correctly or not. So this will be very useful. Okay. So on that note, let's take a break here. We'll break for 15 minutes and then post the break, we will continue our discussion. Okay, refresh yourself and be back. We'll be doing the class till 9 o'clock. Hello everyone, welcome back from the break. Let us continue our discussion. So the next slide talks about the skills that you require to pass the exam. Now this is very important. I hope all of you are back from the break. The first one is practice questions on Excel and Word. See, I'm going to be talking about the entire strategy that you would be using to, do your preparation for the paper. Please confirm all of you back. Yes? Perfect. So, what your preparation strategy is going to be like, number 1, we are going to be discussing chapter-wise the content of the book, and what you will be doing is you will be creating one Excel file at your end. Okay, that will be your file. You will create one Excel file for each chapter. Now, whenever we discuss a question in the class, you will solve it, create a new tab for each question, and you will solve that question in that particular Excel. Okay. So that is through, with the classes that you're solving the questions. Once the chapter is over, please practice all the backside questions in that same Excel file. New tab for each, question. And in this way, entire first round of practice of the VGLD book will happen along with the classes. Wherever you get doubts, write it down and raise it to me in the next class. I'll take it up. Okay. So what you are doing practically, classes are going on. Whatever class questions are there, you're solving in that Excel file. And once the chapter is over, you solve all the remaining back questions there in the same Excel file. Okay. But very importantly, while you are solving these questions from the back side, or even the class questions, you will keep highlighting those questions which you feel will be useful for you to do again. Like if you do not practice it again, you might make a mistake again here. See, when you're doing the first round, now most of the questions you'll be making mistakes. Some mistake or the other, you will make errors. That's for sure. Even though you have done the concepts in the class, first revision always, most of the times you make error. You try to highlight those errors which you feel are very, something very important that you should study about. Okay. So first round, you're doing with the class and you're marking those questions where you're making errors. So let's say total questions which are there are 100. And out of those 100 questions, 20 questions are okay, or something like a repetitive question. 80 questions which are left now, that is something that you have to redo. And maybe these 80 questions, full question practice, or some, part of the question which you need to do again. Because, there are some very good questions. I'll also keep telling you every now and then that this is a good question. Keep it for practice because it's a very comprehensive question. A lot of adjustments are there, especially in investment appraisal chapter. I'll tell you that this is a good question. It has a lot of adjustments, maybe with respect to working capital, with respect to disposal of the asset and all of that. So you mark those questions. And only these questions, let's say, 80% of the questions only are there. This you keep for the second round. And once the syllabus is over in April and you have the entire May month to yourself, you do the second round of the revision. Okay. And in the second round, you do these 80 questions only. 20 questions which you have done correctly, which you feel are very easy or are repetitive, you don't do them again. So mark the questions in the first round only when you're doing the questions along with the classes. In the second round, whatever questions, now when you practice now, your accuracy rate will increase. If it was 20% earlier, now maybe it will be around 50-60%. Let's say it is 50% now. In that second round, only 50% questions you will do incorrectly, or you will find very limited questions. Those comprehensive questions, of course, you'll keep, but limited questions where you'll be making errors because you have done them before. And then those balance 50% questions where you made errors or were very technical, you keep those questions aside. And you do these questions for the third round before the exam. Okay, so you're practically doing 3 rounds of revision of the book questions. And I'm telling you, if you're able to do this, there's no one stopping you from passing the exam, for sure. Okay, so what you're doing, first round along with the classes, and same Excel file you'll be using. First revision along with, first practice along with the classes. Then second round, you're doing after the syllabus is over for the questions which you have marked. And third round, after the second round, for the questions which you have marked in the second round only. Okay. This is about the question practice. That is something that you have to do. And what about the notes? See, as I told you, the Excel notes you will be getting. Now, Excel notes, they're not like everything is there in the notes. It will contain some important topics or some topics which need examples and all. So that gets covered in the notes. So this is something very, useful. In very simple language, I write down my notes. So every time that you're revising, see, first round you're doing with the classes, so you don't need to revise the notes again and again. You'll be hearing it in the class live itself. While you do the second round now, before you take up the second round, reread those notes. Okay. And because a lot of times I tell you what happens, the student comes to me with the doubts when I have a doubt in this question, and I'll just simply take them. I'll not even explain anything. I'll just simply take them to the notes we have covered in the class, and they'll get the answer to it themselves. So what you can do is reread those notes before you take up the second round of practice, and also complete rereading of notes before the third round of practice. Now, if you do this, it's a very comprehensive practice and understanding of the concepts that you have done. And also, along with the notes, if there are some concepts which we are doing in the book only, it's properly there, simple language, and elaborated with examples also. Those topics also you can mark in the book. Use highlighters, pens, whatever is there, you can use them and mark those topics for revision. Okay, so along with the notes, you can practice those topics. So you don't have to read the entire book. Notes are very simple in a particular sheet of that chapter. That's it. That's all that you have to do for passing the exam. This is very, very important. Please create your own answer sheets and keep and save them. Use the same file for each, chapter wise, use the same file only. Are you able to follow me? How you have to practice? Practice questions on Excel, Word. How you have to do it? Are you clear? You can practice on Word also. I find Excel more comfortable, so you can do that. And also, every once in a while, maybe every week or in every 10 days now, practice any random question on the practice platform. Like using the exam tool for spreadsheet and for word processor. So you'll, slowly, gradually, you'll become so used to it that you will find comfort in solving exam paper also very easily on that same tool. Okay. Normally you practice on Excel, Word because it's faster. Okay. But just for practicing the tool, maybe every week or in 10 days, practice on the tool only. Okay. That is something that you have to do. Clear? That is point number 1 for the skills required. Second, very, very important is 1 idea per mark. Quality over quantity. This is specifically for theory questions and theory constructed response questions. I see a lot of times, even if you read the examiner's feedback now, you will see that they mention that the students did poorly in the theory questions or they did not attempt it at all. And the questions are simple, but students do not attempt it. Somehow there is a fear of theory questions. I don't know why. The questions are simple, but they'll not attempt it. Because they're not clear as to what to write and how to write. So that's what I'm covering here in this particular point. If it's a 5-mark question, you have to bring in 5 unique ideas in your answer. Okay? 5 marks, 5 points. Ma'am, 5 points? See, it has to relate to the scenario of the question. It has to relate to the concept. And those ideas, you don't have to write poetry and prose out of them. Every point has to be explained in 2 to 3 sentences. Okay? And each point you write in a separate paragraph. See, I showed you the marking scheme. Examiners are given a marking scheme that if the student is covering this point, give them this much mark. If they are covering this point, give them this much marks. This is how it is. So, if you are covering your answer in paragraphs, it becomes easier for the examiner to give you marks. Right? So, use the, layout of paragraphs, small paragraphs, 2 to 3 sentences each, which carries 1 idea only. And how to write that idea, I'll tell you. So the first statement, so for example, if it's about any topic which you first need to explain, or you are writing down what has happened. So let's say the sales has dropped by 5%. You have analyzed the data given in the question and you have realized that sales has dropped by 5%. So your first statement would be sales has dropped by 5%. Second would be why. Why did it happen? You try to correlate with different aspects of your answer. That is what will come in the second and the third sentence. First statement, you either explain the topic if there is any point that you have to explain the concept of in each paragraph. Explain that point and then explain how it is related to the scenario. Or you explain what has happened and then in the second and the third statement, why it has happened or how it is correlated to the different other aspects. If you're able to just follow this trick, any theory question, henceforth, any theory question, if you read also, you will see this is the theme across all questions. All questions you will be able to put in this particular format. As simple as that. So you have to practice theory. I'm telling you, it's going to be 50-50 theory, 50-50 practical. Of course, those questions also include your objective test questions, but if out of 40 marks also which are there in section C, 20 marks, I'm telling you it will be in theory only, which you'll have to write. So this particular point is talking about that. You have to write quality answers. It's not about the quantity, like you just want to make long answers. It doesn't work like that. And now when I'm saying write 2 to 3 sentences, it doesn't mean you will write in active voice and then convert it into passive voice. Like, my name is Anushka, people call me Anushka, my parents named me Anushka. Not something, this is not what is expected out of you. Write properly framed answers, which gives a logical way to understand what you are trying to say. Don't just bombard the answer with, difficult English words. No, not needed. Write in simple English. Anyone who reads it should be able to understand, as if a layman is reading it, and they should be able to understand it. Keep this in mind. You have to write simple answers but good quality answers, which are not general. Now please don't write general knowledge everywhere. Be specific to the scenario, be specific to the requirement. Then only you will get the marks. Don't expect marks in theory. If you just write general knowledge, whatever you know, you have written it down without even seeing what is the requirement. A lot of times students do this. And I'm telling you this, what I'm sharing right now, it's useful at the skill level, a lot more useful at the professional level. Because professional, everything, you'll have to write descriptive. So this will help you in the professional level also. I tell the same thing to the professional students as well. Please tell me if you're able to follow what I've said. 1 idea per mark and 2 to 3 sentences per idea. Write in paragraphs. And what will you write? What has happened? Why it has happened? Or you explain the point that is coming and then relate it to the question scenario. 2 ways only that you will see all the theory answers are being framed. Okay, and cherry on top, if you can give headings, small 2 to 3 word heading to each of these paragraphs, and then the examiner can clearly see what you have covered in your answer and give you the necessary marks. Okay, so that is what you have to do while writing the answers. Then 4th one is label and cross-reference workings. What it means is that you write down the calculations, detailed calculations. Sometimes you will, you're writing your main answer and then there is one aspect of the answer that needs further calculation. So please do not clutter the main answer. Do the calculation in a note and then cross-reference it above. And this you will learn with me only. I do all the question solution in that way only. So labeling and cross-referencing the workings. Note 1, this, let's say sales calculation is done here in note. Year-wise, you have done it. And then you reference it up. So this is something you should do and you will gradually learn this with me. Then next one is very important, specifically for objective test questions. And this talks about rule of elimination. See, you will be getting 4 or 5 options. And sometimes, see, there are 2 possibilities while you're dealing with objective test questions. You read the question, you know the exactly correct answer, that this is the right answer, I'll go with it. A lot of times, I'll say majority of times, what happens is you read the question and you're not able to arrive at exactly the right answer. So what you can do, try the rule of elimination. First, rule out, first eliminate all of those impossible answers which are there in the option. Eliminate them. And it is possible you will be left with 2 or maximum 3 options which you feel could be correct. And you have to select one out of them. Now, when you apply this, your chances or probability of getting the answer right will be higher. Okay. So you have to follow rule of elimination and objective test questions. Okay. And how do you do that? Rule out or eliminate all the impossible answers, and then you'll be left with limited choices out of which you have to select the right answer. This will help you to score better. And then last, you can use multiple formula like I showed you also, like sum function, NPV, you will learn this later. IRR function I showed you only. So different formula will work in the spreadsheet, which will be given to you in section C. So that was about the skills required. Please tell me if it is clear. So label cross-working now. So for example, you are doing an investment appraisal question. Okay, so there will be a lot of line items like sales, then cost, then depreciation, then present value factor. So it will be a big table in itself. And then each of these elements, let's say sales or working capital or cost of investment, each of the items which are coming in the main table, you may need further calculation for it. So one thing is either you just make the main table very long, you clutter it with a lot of calculations, or what you do is you do the detailed calculation in a note below, and then you write note 1 sales, and above in the main table you write sales bracket note 1. So that anyone who reads the answer understands that, okay, the details of the calculation are in the notes below. Okay. So you'll be required to use the Excel and solve questions there when the class is going on. Yes, yes, yes. And that's why I'm telling you, please join the classes using laptops only. Please do not join on mobiles or tablets. You'll find the classes to be very active. You'll be participating in a lot of question solving. So you'll be able to do that only if you join using a laptop or a desktop, whatever you have. I mean, you just need to have a keyboard to type in your answers. That's something which will be needed for you to attend the classes properly. Okay. If you join using mobile and tablets now, you only will be laid back during question solving. You'll be sleeping off also, I'm telling you, if you are not active. So please join in using laptops. Okay. Clear? Anju, understood? Anushka, what about you? Understood? Yes? Okay. All right. The next point that I want to discuss with you is time allocation. A lot of times I hear the students saying, "Ma'am, I knew everything in the paper, but I could not complete it because, time was short." One second, ma'am. Yes, so that the time was short, I could not complete the paper. I don't want that to be happening with you. Please work on time management from day zero itself. See, I'll be also giving you questions in class to solve. So let's say I'm giving you some 5-mark question to solve. It should take you about 10 minutes, max to max, not 8, 9 minutes only. So try to solve it within that much time so that, you get up to speed. You realize that, okay, I'm lacking in my typing speed, or, I was not able to crack the calculation in the needed time. Okay, so Shubham, we are referring to a presentation which I've prepared for an orientation of the entire subject, we will be covering otherwise the VGLD book only. This is just for your orientation. And you'll get the slides also once the slide discussion is done. I'll share across the slides with the VGLT team, and then they will upload it on the LMS. Okay. Shubham, but please do watch the lecture later, or else you'll not be able to understand the flow of the classes later. Sorry. No, Shubham. So we'll be referring only to the VGLD book. I covered this also, that please do not refer to other books. It just creates confusion. So refer to just one book. It will be sufficient. Anyways, we'll be doing a lot of question practice in the class also from wherever like I find good questions. I put it in the notes so that you will get. So you don't need to refer to anything else. Books will be exhaustive and you'll be able to cover all the concepts there. Okay. All right. Yeah. So where was I? Yes, so you allocate your time and start working on it right from day zero. Initially, you may not be able to complete the entire question. A lot of you may not be able to do it because then, you don't get disheartened initially. Some of you may be able to do it very good. If you're not able to do it, don't lose your heart. Just see there is scope for improvement in your time management. So how you have to practice time management is, see total, how much time is there? 3 hours. So 3 hours into 60 minutes, 180 minutes. That you have to do for how many marks? I mean, this is the time that you get for how many marks? 100 marks. So 180 minutes by 100 marks is what? 1.8 minutes. So to allocate your time, multiply the marks for each question by 1.8 minutes. Now, do this at a section level, okay? Rather than going at a question level, do this multiplication at a section level. I'll tell you why. So section A questions. Now, when we start off our practice also, now you will realize that some of the section A questions, they tend to be longer. I'll only tell you that it's pretty long question for a section A question. But then there are some questions which will be very easy. It will not even take you seconds to solve. It's, some of them are just very simple, small question. You just have to select the option. So whole of section A will be a mix of such long and short questions. So section A is 30 marks. So 30 into 1.8 is what? 54 minutes. Totally you allocate 54 minutes for section A and complete it. Complete all the questions within that time. Then you progress to section B. Okay, so once 54 minutes are over, please immediately you should progress to section B. Do not give extra time to section A, because each question carries importance, and it's not like if you spend more time on a particular section, you'll get more marks in it. Marks are limited. You have to use your time judiciously. So after 54 minutes, move to section B. Okay. And again, this is also for 30 marks. So that is 54 minutes. Okay. Okay. So 54 minutes for section B as well. And then section C, 40 marks. 40 into 1.8 is 72 minutes. Okay. So this is how much time you should take. Or in fact, for section C, you can do at a question level also. Like first case study, 20 marks. So 20 into 1.8, 36 minutes. That you can keep for question 1, and question number 2, 36 minutes. So this is how you should split your time in exam. If any particular section is taking more time, pause it there, complete the next section and come back to it. Okay, that is the strategy you should adopt to ensure that you are covering 100% of the paper. And you can solve in any order. Okay, so you can solve section C first, then section A, then B, or B, A, C. Whatever order you're comfortable with, you can do that. But my recommendation would be to go for section A first, then B, and then C. No, ACCA will not time you per section. This is for your own time management, Disha. ACCA will not time you. ACCA will give you total 3 hours. Whatever you want to do in it, you are free to do it. Okay, you can read, you can write, you can do whatever you want. It's on you. I'm telling you these tricks to manage your time better. Yeah, so I was saying that suggestion is first you attempt section A, then section B, and then last section C. Okay, so when you do that, you get in a comfortable spot with marks, and you know the easier ones, they are done. So, and it is also possible you're able to complete section A and B quickly. Okay, and then you get extra time for section C, right? So this is an approach that you should adopt. If any one of you have attempted papers before, what strategy do you follow? Like, is it A, B, C, or some other strategy? Just wanting to understand. My recommendation, normally what I find students are comfortable with is A, B, C. A, B, C, no? Okay. Yeah, in fact, because section C, it's actually time consuming. So if you start that first, now a lot of your time may get taken up. And then you'll get in a frenzy that, oh my God, so much time has gone and I've just appeared 40 marks, let's say. So don't want you to get into that frenzy. Go section wise only. Section A, then B, then C. Okay, please read through this slide and let me know if it's okay and if we can move ahead. What is the criteria of passing mark? 50%. So out of 100, you need to score 50. In each section or cumulative? Cumulative. Section-wise marking, timing, nothing, it's not there. Cumulatively. For the entire paper, out of 100 marks, they will see how much you have scored. If it is coming from A, B, or C, it doesn't matter. Let me know when you're good to go ahead. Yeah? All right. Now I'll show you something. I'm going to show you the pass rate for the FM paper. 51%. Okay. It's on a higher side only. So it means what? About for every 100 students who appear for the exam, 51 students pass the paper. Similarly, you see the same trend across all the exams for 52, 48. So it has improved very recently, but yes, it trends around 49 to 50%. So if you see the average, 50% students who appear for the paper, who they pass. But this is not the pass percentage we live by. All my students, all my batches, I've seen more than 70% pass rate. And I'm sure and I'm hoping you will also continue to carry that same pattern. This is at a global level, but our class perspective is always higher than 70%. Okay, so coming back. Next is discussion on the question verbs. If you remember, I'll just show it to you once again. Let's go back to the practice platform. See, in all the questions, if you remember, I was highlighting also when we were discussing them, you will see a question verb here. Explain, then discuss. Okay, so these types of question verbs, you will see in all the section C questions. Now, how do you have to address such type of a question? That's what I've covered here. If the question is asking you to advise, then you will, what do you cover in your answer? You tell someone what you think they should do in a given scenario. Okay? So that is what advice or similarly recommend also. You have to suggest a course of action for someone else. For example, whether the project should be taken up or not, like that. Then analyze. If the question is asking you to analyze, you break down that issue into multiple parts and discuss it in detail. So analyze always requires you to do that. You have to discuss it in depth. Then if the question is asking you to apply a particular concept, for example, you have to apply the dividend growth model or dividend valuation model. So you have to apply that particular concept only as per the question's data. If the question is asking you to assess, it means what? You will judge the importance of the particular issue. Whatever is there in the requirement, you will assess or judge the importance of that issue. Then next is discuss. This is a very commonly asked question verb. Here, when they are asking you to do a discussion, you do a balanced discussion of the pros and the cons of a particular thing. Okay, so that is what discussion is about. Argue about the pros and cons of an issue. Estimate or calculate is one and the same. So you have to do the calculation here. And if it is needed, you may mention the assumptions also if you have taken something. Okay, if you have assumed something, that also you will mention. So estimate is calculate an approximate value, mentioning assumptions if any taken. Then evaluate. If the question is asking you to evaluate, again, this is similar to discuss. You do a balanced discussion on what is right or wrong and why it is right or wrong. Then next is explain. Again, this is also a very commonly asked question verb. Here you'll have to explain a concept as if you're explaining it to a layman. And recommend I've talked about earlier. It's similar to advice that you have to suggest what needs to be done. Okay. So these are the different question verbs and what you should include in your answer to get the complete marks. Please take a look at it and let me know if it's okay. Anything else you want me to discuss? Let me know here. Read through in detail. You'll understand it more. The importance of the slide you will understand more when you practice questions. When you see the theory questions, you will see this particular verb. And then when you read the answer, you will realize that, okay, yes, this is the course of answer. And then slowly, gradually, you will also start imbibing it in your answers. Done? All of you, let me know. Take your time, no hurry. Whenever you're done, just let me know. Done? Perfect. So with that, this session, this presentation on orientation is complete. No, no, you can completely do it in the June attempt, Preeti. Sorry. Give it a try in June only. Don't postpone it. See, classes will get over in April. Okay, you will get time in May, and at that time you can try for your. You can prepare for your semester exams also along with the ACC exam. Students do it. It won't be a challenge, but just be dedicated and regular in your preparation. That's enough. You'll be able to do it. But just appear for one ACC exam. Don't go for two ACC exams. Like, don't see, take up FR or any other paper of ACC. Just go for one paper. If you're picking up FM, that's fine. But just be dedicated in your preparation. No, no. Uh, Preeti, I would suggest go for one exam only. Since you're giving semester exams also in June, that's what I'm saying. Go for one exam. If you're taking FM classes now, go for FM paper because it will be very fresh in your mind. It becomes easier. And this is a suggestion and recommendation to all of you. If you're taking the classes now, give the paper in June itself. Don't postpone it. When the things are fresh in your mind, it will get passed very easily. And it's very difficult to then revise it again 3 months after. So give the paper whenever you're taking the classes. If you're taking the classes now, give it in June. If you want to give it in September, please take the classes in September batch only. It's a good target. You can go for two papers. Just see what else you're doing. If you're just studying, then it's a good target. Two papers you can easily do. And if you're working, then you'll be very dedicated. You're given the required time. Shubham. Yes, Disha, completely. So don't worry about it. Uh, you give it a try. Go with be dedicated in the classes. So you'll be able to cover all the things in the classes and keep on preparing with the semester exams also side by side. FM and PM, they happen in every batch. In fact, FR also, I think it happens in every quarter. So doubly, you can see, I'm not sure what is the plan for this quarter. I've not checked the schedule. So FM, PM, and FR, they happen in every quarter. Okay, I get you, but I think you may take a break from FR. Like if you're taking classes fresh, na Preeti? So you may give FM. In fact, if you pass it, you'll get confidence also. That's what I'm thinking. Like if you suppose, God forbid, it doesn't happen. If you by chance are not able to clear FR again, you will lose all the confidence. And now that you have done the FM classes just recently, it will be, easier for you to pass the paper. That's what I feel. Again, do a self-analysis. See what are your pros and cons. I'm talking from my viewpoint. You will know yourself better and then accordingly take a decision. Okay. All right. Now let me take you to the Excel file here. So take a look at this. I've got 5 illustrations here on the screen. I'm giving about 7-8 minutes. Please solve all 5 together and give me answer in one, just one message. Otherwise, it becomes very difficult to follow. Solve all 5 of them and send in your answers. And then we'll discuss a very important and useful formula in this discussion only. Okay? Give it a try. All 5, give me together. All right, let's check. Okay. So cost is 100, markup 20%. Okay. So you have to find out the selling price. This is very, very simple. See, markup will be what? 100 into 20%. So selling price would be 100 plus 20. See, this all of you would have solved correctly, and I can see all of you have solved it correctly. But just please learn one thing here. See, what is this 120? It is 100 plus 100 into 20%. Now, can I write it as 100 open bracket 1 plus 20%? Tell me. Simple maths I can write now. 100 into 1 plus 20%. So going forward now, we will be following this type of approach to use percentages. 100 into 1 plus 20%. Okay. Then example 2. Selling price 100. Margin is 20%. Margin as a percentage applies on selling price only, and that is available with us. So margin would be 100 into 20%, which is 20. Now the cost will be what? 100 minus 20? 80. So this is the cost. And I know all of you have done it correctly. Now what is this exactly? See, 100 minus 100 into 20%. Okay. Can I write it as 100 open bracket 1 minus 20%? Yes. So going forward, this is what we will be doing when we use percentages. 100 into 80% or 1 minus 20%. So cost is 80. Then comes the third example, which is interesting. So selling price is 100. They gave you markup, but markup applies on cost. I don't have cost. So what I do over here is, whichever value, please pay attention here, everyone, all of you, even if you have done it correctly, not done it correctly, all of you, please pay attention. We will be using this formula a lot in all the upcoming topics. So this should be clear to you. Whichever value the percentage is applied on, assume it to be 100. Okay. Percentage of markup applies on cost. So let cost be 100. Then if cost is 100, what will be markup? 32. So selling price will be what? 132. Now, how do I find out the markup? Okay. Markup is given value, whatever is given, divided by its representative in 100 terms into the requirement. So markup comes as 24.24. Ma'am, I didn't understand this. See, all your life you would have done this. Very simply, I'll tell you. Let cost be X. Then markup will be 0.32X. Okay. Selling price will be what? 1.32X. Can I say 1.32X will be equals to 100? X will be equals to what? 100 by 1.32. That is 75.76. This is what? Cost. What will be margin on markup? So markup will be 100 minus 0.76, which is 24.24. This is what you're getting here. But I can't use X in calculator. I can't use it in my Excel. So what I do is, instead of assuming something to be X, we solve everything in terms of 100. And this is the simple, very simple formula that we use. Okay. Just give me 1 second. Okay. So given value divided by representative multiplied with the requirement. I see a lot of you have tried and did it correctly. Some of you have made mistakes also, but those of you who could not do it, please tell me if you're able to follow simple formula. Whatever value is given, divide by its representative, multiply with the requirement. And I'll tell you, this applies everywhere, wherever there are percentages. Okay. So this is the markup, 24.24. Similarly, cost is 100, margin is 29%. Okay. So whichever value the percentage is applied on, assume it to be 100. So your margin as a percentage applies on selling price. So let selling price be 100. Then margin will be what? 29. Cost will be 71. Just apply the formula. In case number 2, markup is in percentage or in value? This is value. This is dollar value. Percentage is 32%, no? This is dollar value. Okay. Percentage wise, it is 32%. Value wise, it is 24.24. When the selling price is $100, markup is $24.24. Okay, Rahul? All right. So here also, same formula. Given value, $100 divided by the representative. What is the representative? 71 multiplied with the requirement. What do you want to calculate? You want to calculate selling price now? Multiply with the selling price equivalent. That is 140.3. 85. This is also, all of these are in dollar value, okay? Not percentages. Then, lastly, cost per passenger mile is 0.27. Okay? It's 0.27. Net margin. Okay, I think. Yeah. Net margin is 1.67%. What is the fare per passenger mile? So margin is applied on fare. So let fare be 100. Then what will be the margin? 1.67. Then what is the cost? Fare minus the margin. Same concept I'm applying everywhere. Sorry. So cost will be 98.33. Apply the same logic. 0.27 is given. Divide by the representatives. Multiply with the requirement. Take your time. Observe and let me know if it's okay. All the questions, same concept. Given value divided by representative, multiply with the requirement. So, for every passenger mile, I'll change the number slightly so that, you can see the full number. Okay, something like this. I'm changing the number. It's okay if you're whatever your answers are, so that you can visualize. So let's say the cost per passenger mile is 270. And the margin percentage that you are making is, okay, I'll take it as a round number, 1.5%. Okay. What does it mean? That cost is 270, margin is 1.5%. Margin always applies on selling price. What is the selling price? Fare, no? Fare which you're going to collect from the passengers. So let the fare be 100. Then margin will be what? 1.5. In that case, what will be the cost? 98.5. So given value 270 divided by the representative. What is the representative? 98.5 multiplied with the requirement. Let me know if it's clear now, all of you. Anushka, did you? Okay, you have confirmed. All of you. So this is the same logic which you would have done in class 5 and 6 when you assume something to be X. The only new thing that I'm telling you here, because you're going to be doing the calculations on calculator, Excel, I'm telling you assume it to be 100. That's all. And I'm putting it in a very simple formula. Whatever value is given, divide by its representative, multiply with the requirement. All questions on ratio proportion can be solved using this. All right. All of you done? Perfect. So then we will wrap up our class here for the day. This was on the orientation part. And in the next class tomorrow, we will start off a new chapter and, start off our syllabus properly. Right? Thank you so much for joining in today. We'll see you again tomorrow. Bye-bye and please take care. Thank you. I can't send files in the group. This I will share later after, we have covered a few more small slides that I have to do with you. I'll share across the file after that. Okay. Thank you so much, Mansi. Happy Women's Day to you and all the beautiful women in the class. Thank you. Bye-bye.